Welcome back, gamers, to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and if you happen to be new to the channel, we put out daily content on everything video game related, so hit that subscribe button, that way you never miss out on another video. Plus, comment down below with the scariest video game boss that you've ever faced. Now, while you think about that, let's jump into today's list of the top 10 scary video game bosses. In at number 10, the final Colossus. For those of you that have played Shadow of the Colossus, you would expect that this whole video would be the bosses from that game. Yes, they're that scary. The game is about taking down these giant beasts known as Colossi, with each one being more intimidating than the last. In the final fight against the final Colossus, your jaw will drop at its sheer size and power. Most of the time while fighting this boss, you'll be cowering and trying to plan out a line of attack. If you have anxiety, I suggest you find another game to play. In at number 9, the Hunter. When Dead Space first came out, the future of horror games, for consoles at least, looked very bleak. This game changed the landscape of what we wanted out of horror games. First of all, when you started, you weren't some soldier that had a ton of weapons at your disposal, you were simply using repurposed tools. Then, when it came to enemies, the scare factor was leveled up because you never felt fully prepared to fight these parasitic monsters. The only way to kill these enemies was to dismember them, but when it came to the Hunter, that wasn't an option. Also known as the Regenerator, he could do exactly that, regenerate his lost limbs. This makes killing the Hunter while taking on waves of other enemies especially terrifying. Plus, he can kill you with just one hit. In at number 8, the female tripod. Yes, I know, another Dead Space monster on this list. This one is well deserved though. The female tripod from Dead Space 2 is absolutely terrifying. The main host of the tripod appears to be a human woman, with the most disturbing part of her body being the infant body and limbs growing from the tripod's tentacle. Whoever created this monstrosity has some demons in their closet for sure. Perhaps the scariest part is when the tripod makes its entrance by pouncing on you from above, knocking Isaac to the ground. In at number 7, Pyramid Head. I'm sure this boss has haunted many gamers and caused some sleepless nights for sure. Pyramid Head, also known as Red Pyramid Thing, is a monster that debuted in Silent Hill 2 as one of the main antagonists. After its debut, it quickly became one of the more well-known and iconic monsters in the series. Its appearance is that of a large, muscular human with a triangle-shaped metal head that wields a giant sword, also known as the Great Knife. From watching people fight the Pyramid Head online, the one thing that I learned is that you never want to turn your back to this scary boss, and always stay tight to the walls. In at number 6, the GROOM.
Die.
Taking a brief moment away from the insanely mutated creatures of Silent Hill and Dead Space, I bring you the monster from Outlast Whistleblower. Also known as Eddie Gluskin, he was a misogynist and serial killer that was mutilated by women. It's believed that his insanity comes from his abuse as a child, and he first appears in the underground lab where he's being forced to undergo painful restraints and experiments. Eddie was convinced that he needed to marry the woman of his dreams, and as a result, is willing to go to any length necessary to make this happen. And at number 5, Mother. This enormous, grotesque looking creature is an infected bulbous growth that used to be a woman named Elizabeth Green. I know what you're thinking, after she was pumped with blood tox from the Black Watch, you don't even recognize her. This terrifying boss is nearly 2 stories high and is equipped with 3 very large tendrils. Mother uses those tendrils to defend herself, so in order to defeat this boss, you'll have to get close enough to damage them and then attack the growth directly. And at number 4, Laura. This boss is born from the memory of Laura's tragic death, and to make her even scarier, she's immune to bullets. Yeah, good luck with that. Plus, she has this crazy spider-like body with the head of Laura on the front looking like the Grudge. Laura, however, is a creature from the game The Evil Within, and perhaps one of the only ways to kill this boss is with fire. Its weakness is a reference to a barnhouse fire that severely injured Laura and resulted in her being put into a vegetative state that eventually led to her death. And at number 3, Giant Creep. The Creep is this supernatural manifestation from the memory of Harlan Wade and acts as the main antagonist in the game Fear 3. Its ultimate goal is to haunt and destroy Point Man and Paxton Fettel throughout the game. This creature isn't just a scary face either, it's also a very formidable foe to face. The only chance you have to defeat this boss is when it opens its mouth, revealing its weak spot. But before that, you'll have to avoid several dangerous tactics up this monster's sleeve. It has gigantic fists that it can smash you with, it can breathe waves of flames, and even summon these ghost-like troops for backup. And at number 2, Gaping Dragon. The Gaping Dragon is the boss in the depths and gives you the key to the upper entrance to Blighton Town. Although it's called a dragon, it's not actually a dragon, it's more of a hellish beast that requires you to change your underwear after seeing it. As the Dark Souls history goes in regards to this scary boss, it was once a dragon until its eternal hunger mutated into the Gaping Dragon beast. Where you have to be careful is when it rears its back. From there, it will slam its exposed ribcage, which acts like its own mouth. Lastly, in our number 1 spot, Nemesis. Also known as the Pursuer or the Chaser, this monster is not just terrifying in appearance, but also possesses a superior intelligence much greater than any other monster you'll encounter in Resident Evil. It's by far one of the most popular characters in the series, and many publications have even regarded it as one of the most intimidating villains. It absolutely dwarfs the size of humans next to them, making your encounters that much scarier. Nemesis is a bioorganic weapon created to be the ultimate hunter. While he's not the type to just slash you or use some paranormal tactics, he can wield weapons and possesses regenerative abilities, which makes killing him even more difficult. And that has been the top 10 scary video game bosses. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, show us some love by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on this list. And for more videos like this one, all you have to do is click that playlist on your screen. From Top 10 Gaming, I'm Johnny Rogers. Until next time, take care.